Welcome to the video where we're going to talk about power. Power is a very interesting topic, and as I even bring it up, you can start to notice how you respond to the word power. We have many different beliefs about power. When I'm talking about power today, I'm not talking about power in relationship with authority. Authority is different to power. When we have authority, we can use our power to do all sorts of things. I'm talking about a sense of feeling powerful in your life. And so power is something that we intrinsically all have the ability to experience. So we are talking about power from an inside-out experience. We are not talking about being able to exert power over others. We are not talking about being able to use your power for good or bad in the world. That is a choice that you get. We're talking about, as you navigate every moment of the day, how do you experience yourself in that moment? And how powerful do you feel? And so we can start to look at how do you experience life generally. If you have a look at the icons, you can see these little images of different experiences we have. Do you feel trapped, imprisoned, stuck, hopeless, even maybe helpless? Do you feel like you're a puppet on a string with no choice and just moving along doing whatever anybody tells you to do? Do you feel like you're dragging a ball and chain and everything is a struggle? Do you feel like you're in a dark pit needing people to help you out? Do you feel like you're conquering all the obstacles in your path? Or do you feel like life's a breeze, a joy, something to experience with delight? None of these are right and none of these are wrong. None of these are absolute. The truth is every one of us will experience all of these things at any moment in a day. We cannot be in any permanent state. Life will throw obstacles at you. Life is going to throw challenges at you. Yeah? Edith Eger, in her book The Choice, talks about suffering is universal. Victimhood is optional. And that is what we're talking about, is looking at these experiences and saying, how do I shift it? How do I change it? You can even have a think for yourself, how do you feel right now watching this video? Which one of these experiences would you choose? That gives you a great place to start noticing, what do I need to shift? What can I own? How do I become more powerful in this experience? As I've said, each one of these are experiences we will have. That is guaranteed. But if you look back over your life, is there a pattern of getting stuck in any of one of these? If it becomes more permanent, then that is a challenge. Then that is something that there is an opportunity to heal and grow from. So if you feel like in every moment of your day, in every aspect of your life, you are stuck, hopeless and helpless, then that perspective is something that's going to leave you feeling powerless in your life. Developing the resources to feel powerful is one that requires you to go inward and notice the way you think, feel, speak and act. And so we're going to reveal how these are our superpowers, how we can actually shift and change these things. And that makes us very powerful as human beings, different to animals that don't always have that point of self-awareness and reflection to choose differently. They need reward and punishment schemes to make them do things. We're human beings. We have the opportunity to reflect on ourselves and choose again. In every moment of every day, you have the power to choose again. And so Edith Eger, in her book The Choice again, and those of you that have never read the book, it's a phenomenally good book where she was in Auschwitz, and she has written a book about how she healed herself from being truly imprisoned to being free in the world. And she says the foundation of freedom is the power to choose. And I say that again, the foundation of freedom is the power to choose. I know many of you watching the video are deeply, deeply, deeply longing for freedom. wish it was the experience of your life. But freedom comes with responsibility. The ultimate cost of freedom is having nobody to blame for anything that's going on in your life, but taking accountability for the choices you're making and learning to choose again. And so when we can start to unravel this and we can start to notice that every single one of us are born with superpowers, there is nobody that doesn't have the power that I'm going to talk about now. Not a single soul on earth. I'm not talking about talents and gifts. I'm not talking about whether you can play the cello or whether you're born to be a physicist. I'm talking about how you want to navigate through the path of your life. And the 4 superpowers that you have is the power to think, the power to feel, the power to speak, and the power to act. Nobody can do these for you. I cannot think for you. I cannot speak for you. I cannot live your life on behalf of you. This is your power. This is your choice point. If we start to look at these, the power to think is really, truly, truly, truly understanding that your mind is not in control of you. You have a mind, not you are your mind. Your mind is a very powerful resource and it can make your life heaven or hell. The stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you live by, the experiences you replay. I could be driving to work and I could have somebody drive into me. The instant that happens, I tell myself a story about what just happened, like I'm an internal reporter. I could tell myself the story, you see, this is not my year. The universe is against me. This always happens to me. I could tell myself the story, oh dear, that was silly of me, what just happened? I could tell myself the story, this is going to be a nightmare for years to come, I'm going to have to sort out insurance. I could tell myself the story, I wonder if the other person's okay. I could tell myself the story, this could be an opportunity to meet a new friend. Every one of these stories changes my experience in that moment. It changes how powerless or how powerful I feel. Obviously, we need to interrupt the amygdala hijack that happens in that moment. But you can choose. Edith Eger, again in her book, says, victimhood is rigor mortis of the mind. Don't you love that? Rigor mortis means I've got static. I've become addicted to my stories. The power to think means taking responsibility for listening to the thoughts that go on in your mind and giving yourself the opportunity to choose, is this true? Does this make me feel good? What could another story be? The power to feel lies in the deep wisdom of our emotions. Emotions are the energy for movement in life, and we've spoken about this in other videos. Emotions bring us to deep consciousness about our internal experience of the world, what we need, what we desire, what we want. Emotions are not fixed. We are never a victim of our emotional state, but when we are able to step back and listen to our emotions and again notice what the gift in it is, what is it offering us to learn, to heal, to change, to grow? This is not about suppressing emotions. This is not about being fine all the time. This is about the courage to be a witness to this deep intelligence within you and to choose how you respond to it. And obviously there's a relationship between the story we tell ourselves in our mind and the experience we have in our heart. The third superpower we all have is the power to speak, to communicate. Our voice is a vessel for change. Our voice is a creative portal to the world. When we speak, we create. We create relationships. We create experiences. We create moments. We create opportunities. We can also create distance. We can create hurt. We can create a lot of trauma with our words. What you say and how you say it can't be undone. Yeah. I'm sure you've all had the experience where you say something and then straight away you want to say, I didn't mean it. It doesn't matter. The words have created something. And does it mean we can heal those? We can change that. We can take responsibility for it. Absolutely. Speaking has also got to do with listening to not speaking, to creating space to listen to others, to create space for interaction. And undoubtedly, in all the years that I've been doing this work, it is not what you say, it's how you say it. Your words can land like rose petals when you talk to somebody, or your words can cut like thorns. And you could be saying exactly the same words. So taking responsibility for what comes out of you and the impact it has on other people is a real superpower. It's the power of influence. It's the power of intimacy, and it's the power of love. The last power we have is the power to act. And this is taking responsibility for your body. You have arms and legs. Yeah. You can move. You're not a tree. You're not stuck. You can go wherever you want to go. Yeah. I remember my son saying to me that, my daughter made him hit her. Nobody can make you hit them. If you hit them, you must take responsibility for hitting them. Yeah. Maybe you were provoked, maybe there was emotion. But when you take action, when you use your body and you do something with it, you need to take responsibility for it. Owning your body means that you're fully present to owning your space, to saying, how do I show up? What is the impact I have in the world? And you have a profound ability to use your body in whichever way you want to. These powers, the power to think, the power to feel, the power to speak, and the power to act, are your differentiators. They're your unique, authentic opportunity to make a difference in the world. I encourage you to start noticing how you can change the stories in your mind, own the wisdom of your heart, become aware of the words that flow from you, and take responsibility for the way you show up. And know behind all of that you have a choice. We never, ever choose what happens to us, but we always choose how we want to respond. Sending you lots of love. Namaste.